All right, traders. Morning. I am running late today, trying to fit in a dog who was ill overnight, waking me up and having to walk her this morning and then get to the charts. So, sorry, those in Discord, super late to the charts this morning. My apologies. Last day like this, and my wife returns tonight, so back to normal next week. Okay, let's get into the charts. I'm going to start off on the daily, and we'll make our way down, and we can try and make a plan here. All right, daily, what are we in? We are back in this range. This is exactly what I didn't want to see. Remember when we were down here, we were looking for a retest to get down into here. This is exactly what I didn't want to see. Yesterday was a very, very choppy day, hard day to trade if you weren't patient. Why? Because we're back in this. It's already shown you chop, 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 fail breakout, chop, 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 chop. Very, very possible. All right, so just be aware of what we're in. The daily has the potential to create a higher low here. If we think about what happens when we get trend change, it has the potential to do this. What will confirm this? It will be a breakout back above these. That's what the bulls are trying to look for right now. All right, so they can afford, if they want to, they can come and do a gap fill. We did a partial gap fill last night. We traded into this old gap. If they want to, they can come down here, but you would want to see bulls step in and protect 18,400 for a rip back up through 19,000. Let's just call it 150. Yesterday's highs, 19,400. All right, so they're looking to do this move here. Whether they can do it or not is a whole different ball game. We are seeing mixed signals from absolutely everyone right now, whether it be POTUS or members of the tariff, I don't know what you want to call them, committee, or the Fed, or big media. We're seeing mixed signals. 145 tariff, 245 tariff, deal going to be done. Then last night, no deals being done with China. We're on edge, is what I'm saying. So be careful with that. Be kind and patient to yourself. These are not easy ranges to trade in. All right, so especially right now, we're right at midpoint. If you think this is extreme, we are at midpoint. You're about 1-to-1 each side. Not ideal. If we dial down into the lower time frame, into an hourly, let's just zoom into here. All right, you will see yesterday we went and took this first H1 liquidity level. We were unable to base above and sustain bids for that move up to 19,257. If you remember, ES didn't even take 19,500 out. Relative weakness there. So once that happened, we faded, right? We left value area high and we rotated. And overnight, we rotated into the gap, sweeping previous day lows, but holding the gap. Now, the gap is still open. If they want to trade, like I said, they can come down to the old highs, 18,500. They can come all the way down into 18,380s if they want. If they want to come down here, I would expect bulls to try and step in. If we get anywhere near here, I'd be looking for something like this for a rotation back up, because what I'm expecting them to try and do, whether they've already caught enough shorts off guard here to do this move, time will tell, but they're trying to create a higher low here. All right, if like we just talked about on the daily, that would be a daily higher low. They're trying to do this move here on the hourly to move up. Whether they can do it or not is a whole different thing. That will depend on sentiment and who's trapped. But it's potential. Longs back up here, longs back up here, longs from here. Obviously, if we start letting go of the gap, there will be a short opportunity down into here before bulls try and hold. If we close that gap and we stay heavy, you know where we're going, all the way back to point of origin. If we go on a straight squeezer today, it's going to be very much like yesterday. All right, if we're going to break out here, if they don't use this liquidity to retest this low and get in, all right, and they're going to go on a squeeze. If we start to reclaim POC, then we're going to trade back up to previous day high. This would be 1, 2, third attempt up here, and you've got multiples up there for that drive higher. We've got targets above, 19,400 above. You do not want to be buying up here. Ideally, you want to find a way of getting in before that, because we know, we've seen sellers, 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 sellers. All right, we know this is a huge area of contention. Above that, and a pullback in and a hold, yes, continuation higher, very, very probable at that point. So again, we're in a balanced range right now. If we come into the TPOs, Oh, I mean, you could argue B shape here, but I'm not convinced. It's more of a D profile for me. Some would argue a B shape, which would normally be this move here. All right, because we're creating volume at the bottom, looking for a rotation. But where are we opening, which is all that matters? Right in the middle of it. Right in the middle of this range, right in the middle of this range, right above this old range. Needs to build liquidity. If they hold here and base long enough without drifting down, you have this kind of slingshot move up into here. Again, up there, I'd be very careful. I'd much rather be a buyer down here for that move, or even a failed breakout, or even here for that move. I do not really want to be a buyer up here. You're asking to get your face slammed. If you miss the move, if it ends up going straight up today and you miss it, just wait. Wait for it to pull back and show some strength for a reload, because it's very, very possible we do something like this and I rotate all the way back down, whether it does it today or next week. So that's what I'd be cautious of coming into today. You can see these same levels overnight. Just check the time. All right, there's previous day low. This is the old Globex low from yesterday. Yesterday we had a failed breakout, big slam down. There's the failure to follow through upside. This was the short I kept talking about in the room, those in Discord, versus 19,000. All the time we're under 19,000, which is right up here. We look good. There's a pullback short. Down. Down. Everything's being faded right now. Down. Down. This was the retest, remember. This was the retest. We go up. We expect a retest of this. This now becomes pivotal on the lower time frame. They have a chance, I would say, this afternoon level here, all right? If dips keep absorbing into around 750, 730, something like this, if they can absorb this and then get back above 850, they're going to go for that drive back upside, all right? If we start failing underneath this blue box here, if we get stuck here, then I think we rotate back towards Globex lows. If we let go of that, we're into gap. And then you're going to watch previous day high and the old close. This is why I've got this blue box marked out. There's a lot of levels to be watching today. This is not easy, folks, all right? We're in multiple ranges. We're in a weekly range, we're in a daily range, we're in an hourly range, we're in previous day. Remember, previous day range. We're opening up right at the midpoint. Lack of edge here. I would say I'd be looking for this trade if it sets up. If it lets go, there's a short down to here if you really want it. From this point, be very cautious about whether they rip it back up. If they let go, we come back into the gap. If they hold, once we fill the gap, we go back up, right? All these things are possible. If we fail the gap, we go back down, right? So, you know, absolutely everything is possible right now is what I'm saying. It's not a clear trend. I would lean bullish if it sets up. If it sets up. Especially looking at the VIX, all right? The range on the VIX really is still the same. Basically, let's just call it 30. From 30 down to 27.20s. We're coming down, I'd say 27, where we are now, 27.75 to 27.20 is possible demand. If they hold that and we go back to upside of the range, then we see weakness in this market and it rolls over. If we start letting go of previous day low on the VIX, then I expect us to potentially go risk on. That's what I'll be looking at. Let's have a quick look at the mag, see where we're at. I'm going to imagine they are all in range, but it's my first time looking today. There you go, all in range. So, here's previous day's action. A little sweep in the morning on Apple. So far, rejecting previous day close. Get back over that, we can trade upside. Failed breakout of that, maybe sweep this, we trade back down. Again, everything is going to be possible here today because understanding what's going on the bigger time frames right now. Microsoft, slightly more bullish, holding PDL, holding PDC, trying to build one of these for a move back up. Through that, we squeeze stops to go higher. That looks a bit better for me on Microsoft. Amazon, same kind of move. Big sellers up here. You could think about a fib retracement if bulls trying to get to the 61. If they reclaim 61, we go higher. If they fail 61, we come back and retest these levels. If we fail that, we come back into these levels here. It's the same story. It's going to be the same story across the board right now. Everyone's on edge waiting. Google, same thing. Remember, Google has earnings after hours today. All right, I would not be surprised to see them run this up a bit if they wanted, or even dunk it down a bit if they wanted. I mean, if they're looking to take calls cheap, they're going to push it down. If they're looking to force puts, they're going to let it drive up so they get a better price. Meta, same story. Has the ability to do one of these versus these levels here. all right, versus these levels here. Nvidia, same story, relative strength there. Nvidia looks good. Dip under here, failed breakout, starting to reclaim. That looks strong, very strong. Tesla, same kind of story. Didn't sweep, came very close. In a range, trying to build upside momentum. Does it have the juice? Same story across the board here, folks. I am not looking to rush into a trade here this morning. What I would say is I did take a short last night in the Asia session, so I've already locked in some decent money on the day. So no need for me to really force my way in. I'm quite happy with what I've made if that's all the market presents to me. So you've got the plan. First key level will be here. Second key level will be here. Third will be here into the gap. If we break above and hold, potential squeeze. I don't love buying up here though. Like I always talk about, I'd love buying where shorts are trapped. I want to be very careful. The market has already told you when it gets up here, there's a lot of sellers. Anything above sort of 19,000 has been sold really, especially above 19,625. You want to be cautious. I'd be very, very careful of how we act in this golden zone here. Very careful. If we start reclaiming it, then yeah, sure. But until that point, I really don't love what I'm seeing in this market right now. It's being designed to cause people pain, in my opinion. That's why I backed right off yesterday, and I'll continue to do so today until it proves otherwise. Remember, folks, we do not need to trade every single day. We need to trade when that A+ setup is there. Let's have a quick look on the book, and then we'll go through some good mornings. If my book is ready, get you open, Big Map. Let this data load. Give me a second. Book looks thin. Again, no big orders. I can see it's loading in, but no big orders. Let's get through some good mornings here. All right, good morning, Clint. Let's move this over so I can read. Clint, Jay Knup1, Miguel, Ramus, Julian, Vince, Jesse, Jeff, Christy, ERF, Brandon, Thumper, Leron, Arturo, Marek, TR, Paul, DJ Noah, Brad, Peter Curry. I've lost the names already. Where have they gone? Here we go. Mike, JD, Florida Man, Raphael, Trentry, Michael Pope, Trey the MBD, Aga, Array, DK, Juan Carlos, Willa, Minux, Cat, Coop, Richard, Jeffrey, Jack, Andrew G, Stephen W, John Lucan, Abe, Kim W, Jake from State Farm. Good morning, everyone. Any of you catch any trades overnight? Did any of you get anything overnight? I managed to grab myself a short. Where did I get short? Once we failed PDC, I got short this move here. Down to 50s. I think I got somewhere down here. So I got this move here overnight. Probably should have held a runner for that move to the old lows, but so be it. I was quite happy. Momentum in, for now, is bullish. All right, we're starting to try and build upside towards this old point of control. So for now, I'd say Momo bullish. Paul G got 90 pointer overnight. Jake from State Farm. Let's talk about my insurance. I'm really sorry. I'm not insured with State Farm. Clean these charts up. Where's that line gone? Out you go. All right, folks. 1 minute until the open. Go through your checklist. I will fail my checklist miserably today. Have you slept enough? No, is the answer. Have you had your coffee? Drinking it right now. Have you had any water? No. Have you eaten? No. Do you feel wet? Do you feel mentally fit and able to trade? Sort of. All right, which is why I'm going to be backing off this morning, waiting for myself to wake up a little bit. Like I said, rough night's sleep. Tired this morning, a little bit late to the screens. Not in a rush here. We'll see what we get. We will see what we get. Trading all the way up to Globex high right now. And about to squeeze straight through it by the looks of it. Market feels very, very bullish this morning. But again, would like to see some dips if possible. It's afternoon session. We've held it pre-market. We've reclaimed the lower time frame algo right now, and here comes the opening bell. So I'm looking, see how we hold up into, let's just call it 8750, somewhere around this range here. I think somewhere into here looks fairly key. This kind of level here. I want to see how we act there. I'm not saying that's strong demand. I'm just marking it out to see how we act. Right now, we have the potential on a lower time frame to build some liquidity out to go higher, don't we? I might have already done it. I might have missed my opportunity pre-market, but I want to see if we get down here how we react. Here's the lower time frame algo. We're starting to reclaim it. Flow zones are above it. We have the potential to slingshot upside today if we can do this move here. Don't really want to be buying high, so I'm going to be very, very aware of that. Let's get the New York open in. I've missed it again. So breaking upside here into the old point of control. It's probably a good buy already. So these levels up here starting to become key. This is Globex. We've now taken the Globex highs out. Okay, so we've traded through yesterday's Globex lows. Now we've just taken current Globex highs out. Yeah, Globex right here. Should probably mark that out for you. Sorry, folks. Like I said, a bit late to the screens today. I do that as orange as always. Extend it right for the session. Lots of highs up here. If you're in this long and you're looking for continuation, you'd want to see it trade through 18,970 basically. That's where you've got some hourly highs. That was the old value area high. If we start basing above that, then maybe it's going to squeeze. Let's have a quick look at the mag here as well. I'd imagine not much going on. Yeah. So Tesla 0.63% up, Nvidia 0.87% up, Meta 0.17% up, Google 0.65% up, Amazon 0.5%, Microsoft just under 0.5%, Apple 0.19% up. Muted, which is what I was sort of expecting. I want to see if we can drift lower into and around that blue box, into and around the lower time frame algo, into and around VWAP to see if buyers come in down there. I'm not going to force my way in. If they don't come in and they want to go all the way back to Globex lows, they will. If they want to fill that gap today, they will. Absolutely open for whatever they want to do today. Whatever they want to do today is fine. Remember, we are opening an inside bar on the daily. We are opening right in the middle of yesterday's range right now. These are not ideal locations to be engaging in new positions. That's better. Light was doing my head in. Hey. All right. Nice and slow here, folks. If they're going to take Globex to rotate, then they've already done job one. If they're going to take this to rotate, they can. Again, everything so far bullish. If they're going to do that failed breakout, they can do it. This is your PDC. All right, so if they want to close this gap, we are gapping up very, very small, but we are gapping up nonetheless. They can do that move. Remember, that old gap is all the way down here. And we tapped into it overnight. This grey box is the start of the old gap where we had that big 300-400 point gap up the other day. Muted open here. Again, overnight session providing the better trades. If you look at Asia, they lovely trade versus PDC for that fade down. Then you had London do the same thing. We traded into VWAP, we faded low, and we took out previous day Globex low. And once London did that, we've just bid all the way back up, and now we've taken out Globex high. I mean, it's low-hanging fruits are being taken all over the place right now. If this H1 wants to push, I imagine we go for that 18,960. If we want to rotate, we're coming back down to VWAP, which is what I'd rather see. Relative weakness in the ES here, by the way, folks. Definite weakness in the ES versus the SPY. Already closing its gap. ES already trading into PDC right now. Morning, John. So very, very patient for me today. Having a green week. Not my best green week, that's for sure. Slow and steady right now, but I'll take it. We talked about numerous times on stream, you should be in survival mode right now. All right, play defense. The best teams in the world win championships by having good defense, not by having weak defense and good attacking. That means they score lots and they concede lots. I don't want to be that type of trader. I do not want to concede much. And I want to just chip away, chip away, chip away. And every now and again, I'm going to have that kind of outlier big winning day. Back under New York. Do we close that gap now? Do we come to that blue box? Apple now gone red on the day. Meta gone red on the day. Do shorts come in? Do the sellers participate today like they did yesterday afternoon? Or is this just building out to go higher? Those are the questions. I lack edge right now. We're dangling right at yesterday's point of control. Where we are right now is where the biggest volume was traded yesterday. We were there yesterday morning. We peaked above it. We failed. We were there yesterday afternoon. We sold off underneath it, and now we're coming back and back testing it. Momentum is definitely upside, but I'm just watching these H1s. Think about where it's trying to go. It wants to take this out. If it can do it, it's trying to take these wicks here out. All right, here. And then at that point, if you're in this long, you'd be selling partials into this and you'd be hoping it goes all the way up, but who knows? I missed this move here. It was 1, 2, 3 hours ago. This white block here, this was the move. Push, pull, go. That's where I want to be long from. Not really from up here. Slow market this morning. It's not even that slow. It just feels slow because of what we've had in more recent times. 54-point range. Meta going back green. Apple now 0.65% down. Say that 200 is going to be key on Apple if they're going to sell. Back down to PDC here on the ES. Spiders trading right at their VWAP right now. VIX traded right into those 70s, 75s that we talked about, found a bid. Flow zone still downside on the VIX, but it's still in a range. Everything's in a range. I'm not interested in participating. We're literally midpoint of every range I'm looking at right now. There's just no edge in here. If you're looking to fade edges, you can't trade it. If you're looking to play momentum, very hard to trade out the middle of a range. I'd rather not trade it, let it do whatever it wants, and wait for it to become clear and obvious. Because we're now fairly high off first buy signal, second buy signal. We're quite high up, aren't we? Leg 1, leg 2. I don't really want to buy here for this move up here. I need to see something like this, which we're not getting. Just how I like to trade, but You guys trade your own way, by all means. Still holding Globex. You're trying to get over point of control. Like I said, if you're in this long, you'd be looking for it to take the H1 highs out. So 926 would be first stop. 958 would be second stop. 968 would be third stop. And then after that, you're looking for higher days. Yes, trying to get going. Apple trying to get going here. Apple will try and go red to green soon by the looks of it. So far, holding the New York Open. Nice drift higher. Looking at the book, still very, very thin. Remind myself on the numbers today. $10 existing home sales. Kashkari 5 o'clock. Okay, nothing else to really worry about. Google at the bell today as well, folks. It's a big one everyone's looking at. All right, new high day here on the ES market. Looks like it's trying to drift higher here. If you're in ES, you're looking for that next liquidity pull into 421s. Through that, you're looking for a trade up into 435s. Through that, you're looking for 442s. And through that, you're looking at for previous day high. So looks good here on the market, I will say. Starting to see some strength coming here. Apple is going to test its red to green level soon. That's a good drive. Make sure you're locking some in here. So you got your first level right here, right now. After that, you're looking at 58s and 68s, basically. 50 to 70. That's where the next lot of sellers are. 50 to 70. Here, oh, let me draw it. It's trying to get from here to here. Okay, this is where old wicks are. Through this, you might get a little bit of a stop run. You've got to be selling partials into these moves. You do not know how high this wants to go. If they come back in and slam it, you'd be very upset if you haven't taken anything. It's a good move for those who took the flow zones or took the retest. Again, beyond my appetite, but it would remain bullish for that move. You're right into those sort of H1 levels here. Two more minutes and then we will set the opening range. I am absolutely exhausted today, folks. I'm going to level with you. I'm very, very, very tired. I'm trying to be... it's going to have to be an amazing trade for me to really want to jump in today. If I was not on stream, I would have probably stayed in bed. Or gone back to bed, I would say. Here you go. Almost at your levels now. You might have even taken them out already. No, you're tapping in. I still think you've got a little bit higher here. 67, I think, is the high of the old H1. Transition would be to 74. So I think you trade a little bit higher here. Please take profit. If you're taking this squeeze move up, please lock in some profit. Please lock in some profit here, folks. We know there's been a lot of sellers up here. Lock in some profit and then hold runners. And then if it dips and offers a reload, you can think about going in again. You'll be very upset here if you do not lock anything in and you let this come all the way back down after hitting almost taking all of the H1 liquidity out. I would imagine it will go higher, but the question is, will it offer you, a good dip? Remember, we're extended right now from flow zones, aren't we? You would imagine this will go higher, though, or I would imagine this will go higher. I think we will take out those H1 levels. It's starting to look like it wants to do. building here to go higher. I'm looking what's on the book. Above 75, there's a few sellers. Here is your opening range. There is your spike. You must be selling some into that like we talked about, please. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, there is your low-hanging fruit trade gone. All right, that's the first H1 low-hanging fruit. You just swiped that H1 level. We just talked about it. Drew it out for you all the way up to 70, but the actual high was 65s, I think, of that old H1. Let me measure it out. Yeah, 65, 66s. You've sort of tapped into it. I would be taking a partial here, and then you're looking to see now, does this want to rotate all the way up to previous day high? We did talk about thinking about the fibs. You're coming right into that 61 and golden zone. Remember, this here is where sellers will try and step in. They will be stepping in against momentum if they do that. I would not be looking for a short here personally. It would need to completely shift momentum, and momentum so far this morning is definitely upside, isn't it? Nice work, team. Nice work. Lots of you got that long. I think if I wasn't absolutely exhausted, I probably would have jumped in, but I'm just, you can probably see it in my eyes. I am pooped. Hold your runners now for that move through the golden zone towards previous day high if it can go. Ash made 3.1k, well done. Trey, the MBD, freaking A. I'm guessing you got a nice move there as well. Nice work. Peter's still in it with a runner left. Yeah, you should be holding runners to see how high this can go. Can it get up to PDH? John Dennis with the win there. Jeffrey with a win there. Mike, first W, ES. Two more targets at the top if we get there. Yeah, ES is coming into that zone we talked about. All right, right now, start of supply all the way up to 444. Maybe that might be a bit advanced. 441. And then through that, if ES gets through that, you're going previous day high. Who else got it? Brian got it. Nice work, team. Calypso got it. Capt got it. J Bob said he had to poop, so he missed it. Oh, well, you made the right decision. you made the right decision. You don't want to sit at your screens when you need a poop. That's the worst. All right, trading up to that 19,000. We said that was a key level over under yesterday. VIX right into its demand pool right now. This has the chance to keep going here, folks. Oh, I'm absolutely wrecked. Sorry, team. I'll try and get my energy up. Maybe when this coffee kicks in. Might have to go for a refill shortly. So 19,000 around there, a key over under. In fact, I'm going to get a refill right now. That's how tired I am. Bear with me. All right. So we've taken liquidity on the Qs. This is back to the opening range now. Remember, your opening range high is basically at 63s. The question now is how far do we dip, if at all, before it wants to try and reload to go higher. ES left lots of liquidity. You would imagine ES wants to go higher still. Again, I will remind you, we are still in an inside day. We are in a rotational day. So while this might feel very, very bullish, and it is bullish, like no doubt, the momentum is bullish, but while it might feel like that, we are in an inside day. Seller here at 19,141 lot up there right now. If you're in this with runners, you look good. If you reloaded on the orb, you also look good. While I was just away there, that little reload into 65 is basically the orb. It's so far holding that. If you're playing that momentum off that potential here, potential. I'd rather a deeper pullback to flow zones. Obviously, I always like those pullback to flow zones, but this is your orb high. This is your orb low on the day. So if it can build liquidity out here or do something like this, maybe it comes higher. But remember, we're right into this golden pocket right now when we look at a daily, when we zoom out. So location for the buy in terms of daily and hourly is not great, is it? I wanted to buy down at 18,726. Considerably high. I wanted to be a buyer down here. It offered that at this point here. Why did I want to be a buyer here? Because this was the structure. Right? This was a really nice buy. Anyone who got long there, I'd say after 7:30. This is what it's trying to do. It's trying to get all the way back up now. So that orb buy is starting to pay. Just be aware, like I said, there's a seller on the book here, 19,000, 19K. It's 144 on the book there so far. I want to see if he's real or if he pulls it. I've got a feeling this guy's real. It's not too much size. Make sure you're using hard stops as well, folks. We even saw overnight sort of 100-point 1 minute candles in the pre-market. Now the target done for the day. Nice work, Calypso. Nice work, team. Hey, if you've made your money early today and you're done, well, congratulations. It's no better feeling, is there, than that? It is the best feeling. You make your money early and you get off the charts. It's fantastic. Especially when we're in inside day. Q's looking really good here. ES has a little bit further to go. If you're trading the spiders, as in the cash ETF, you're looking for a trade up to 538.88, 539.60s. That orb buy is looking good here. You're getting momentum. Here's that seller, and he's gone. He got filled. So that seller getting filled. Next size up is all the way up at 100 and then 350. Long, long way away on the book. But he did get filled. Jack made up for yesterday. Nice work. Well, there you go. As long as your losses are not too big, then the next day you can make up for it. This was the over-under level here, 19,000 yesterday. ES in a hurry to go higher here. ES is trying to take out that liquidity. Remember, we've done the low-hanging fruits on the NQ already. The next step for the NQ is basically 19,100, 19,168. And we get through that, then we're thinking about 19,200, 19,400. I do not want to see it go straight up to those levels, right? Because in the New York session now, we are majorly lacking structure, aren't we? If we think about this, we've done 162 points upside, and the biggest pullback we had was a 2-minute pullback, and that was it. It wasn't very deep. We've never come and, retested here or even come down here and done a trap. We just drift right now. Looks good. Those in Discord, just have a look at the pathing that we talked about, where we're trying to go and why, and think about how we can get involved. Yeah, quite right, DK. News at the top of the hour, and then we're going to get our new 4-hour new hourly bar. This current hourly bar, very, very, very strong. I would love to see a reprice back on the new hourly bar to be absorbed. Do I trade on the 1 minute or the 2 minute? I execute on the 1 minute, but my trades are not based off 1 minute charts. My trades are based off hourly charts and 5 minute charts and daily levels. I'll execute on the 1 minute. Fully repriced that big kill candle yesterday from 11:30 now. Inside yesterday's opening range now as well. Really like to see a decent pullback here. Maybe all the way down to 940s or something. Yeah, I bet you don't, Peter. Well, you're in it. You've got a runner. Morning, BU. Hope you're good. Hope everyone's doing good today. I know lots of you probably struggled yesterday with that choppy action. Just got to manage your size. Understand when we're likely to see chop and play to your strength. If that's not your strength, just wait for the market to set up what you're good at, whatever that is, whether it's, you know, a pro trend long or, you know, a reversal trade or, you know, a rotational edge trade. Lovely BU. Yeah, nice work. Lovely, lovely work. Very strong here, this market so far this morning. Holding up very, very well. Mag all green now. Tesla 1%. Nvidia 1.68%. Meta 0.66%. Google 1.10%. Amazon 0.59%. Microsoft 1.5%. And Apple now gone green. 0.25% green on the day. This is just drifting higher. Lack of pullback here. Do not chase the longs up here. Please, 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 please. In case I need to say that. You're 178 points up on the session, and there's been no pullback yet. This is a straight move higher. Shorts are currently trapped in this, and at some point when we do something like this, you would expect it to come down. Maybe not that deep, but you'd expect it to wash people out who chase. Do not FOMO in to this action buying high, all right? If you're not already in this off the opening range retest or off, you know, either you're in it from here or you're in it from here. Maybe you're in it from here if you're a little bit dangerous, but do not be buying a big green candle up here. You're asking to get hurt. Yeah, same as me, Peter. I didn't take any trades yesterday. Until I did. That's a lie. I took one on stream. What do we take on stream? The short. Jack back to yesterday's highs. Yeah, it's what it's trying to do for sure. I'd be watching the area sort of from 19,065 all the way up to 19,105. So just call it 100, and through there up to 19,165. So basically you got a 100-point area of supply up there. 65 to 165. You get through that, and it's going to look for that old double top high at 19,250. You get through that, and we're going 19,400. We get through that, and shorts are in major, major pain, because that will be a breakout on the daily. If we think about what we're doing on the daily right now, this was a failed break at the low. This was a return inside. This is the range here now. Wired like a dip. So I can get involved in this move. I don't really want to buy this break here, this neckline break. But if we get above here and we hold, we're going for this. And then what we're going to have, top Bollinger. All right, so everything's lining up right now for it to try and get up to here. 20,000 eventually. Not saying today. I'm saying that's what it's trying to line up to do. It's trying to build this out here to break this, to slingshot up to fill this whole gap. It's a straight squeezer here this morning. Absolutely crazy. What a squeeze. Yeah, ES almost, I would say ES almost at that final low-hanging fruit. In fact, it took the final low-hanging fruit. So really, the only things you've got left now are trades up to PDHs. We are extended from flow zones here, folks. 214 points now. in this session. Correct, Lyndall? Yep, correct. Momentum's upside. Your shorts right now in this session would be counter trend. But, you know, we are technically still in a range. There are technically still shorts to be had versus the supply levels above. I wouldn't be playing against momentum, but there are some traders who will be looking for those trades. Big old squeeze up here. Yeah, news just hit. Home sales. I'd love to get long today. It's a shame it didn't come down to where I was interested. Well, it did. It did pre-market before I was at my desk, unfortunately. Running late today, this is what happens. You run late, you miss things. I want to get involved. There's no way I'm buying these candles going straight upside without any retracement at all, without any structure to risk off. If you look at that last H1 candle, we've left point of control at 18,846. We closed that candle at 19,046. 200-point H1 candle. And we're going to go straight upside here without rebalancing it. So there's no way my risk parameters will let me buy this. Anyone still holding a runner? Hopefully some of you are holding a runner. Nice work, team. Yeah, lovely work. Peter holding a runner, John with a runner, Mike with a runner, Jack with a runner. Just think about how far you're willing to let this come back. We came right into, what did I say? 65? 65 to 165, basically. 65 to 165. This is basically supply. You get through that, we go next level. But you would expect them to struggle a little bit here. If there's any sellers present today. If there's anyone present today. Yeah, exactly, Peter. Yeah. Nice tight stop extended from flow zones. Even if you were going to risk flow zones right now, top of flow zones, 40 points, bottom of flow zones, you're going to have to leave 100 points. It's way too big, isn't it? When you're up, you can't give 100 points back. You kick yourself giving 100 points back. ES has also taken the low-hanging fruit now, as has the SPY. Everything in sync. VIX still just holding up in its demand zone, right? We said demand zone on the VIX. 2770s down to 2710. Might as well just call it 27s. So you should be expecting a pullback at some point. Remember, if we keep going higher, it's because shorts are trapped. They're going to keep attacking, and then, you know, start covering and squeeze themselves out. You should not be buying up here. You should already be in it. Congratulations, everyone. It's a really nice trade. What a nice way to start the day. Most of you have probably made between 100 and 200 points off that trade. What a beautiful way to start the day. So here you're starting to see the start of a pullback here. Think about that H1 bar and the H4 bar. Think about how big these bars are. This can afford to pull back. Don't stress about it, Gus. Another day tomorrow. Nothing missed. That's how, like, I'm the same. I took a trade overnight and that's it. And I'll wait. Like I told myself, I might not trade today. Again, if I was not streaming for all of you today, I would not be trading. Not because I don't love the price action, but I am absolutely exhausted. So I have to understand that there is a good chance I will make errors. If I'm this tired, it's possible I'll make errors. Silly errors, things like clicking the wrong button, things like fat fingering. And I don't want to do that. I'm up really nice on the year. I took some payouts earlier this week. I'm really impressed with Apex, by the way. I got approved within not even 24 hours. And then they told me it was going to take like 10 days to pay me with Plane. And, you know, it's hit my bank account already. I'm really, really impressed. Everyone says that Apex doesn't pay and stuff. Absolute BS. They do, as long as you stick to the rules. Really impressed. And I got another 10 accounts, not too far away. It's probably going to be next week now, realistically, before I can take payment from those. Won't take you long, BU. You're doing great. You're doing great. Slow and steady. Tortoise wins the race. Fastest way to profitability is to slow down. I'd say just focus on, can you do $50 a day? And can you do 75? And can you do 100? And can you do 150? Then can you do 200? Then can you do 500? And slowly, slowly, slowly. Rebuilding here. This is very strong here. It's very impressive here from these markets. VIX is trading sideways, and we're going straight slingshot upside right now. Yeah, 50 per day, and I know you've got quite a lot of accounts there as well, BU. It will add up very, very quick. Christy, with Apex, once you get funded, do you have to keep jumping through hoops like top set 200 a day for 5 days? There are rules. You have to trade for 8 days between each payout. 5 of those days have to be $50 or more. That's it. Those are the rules. Obviously, other than, you know, consistency and you got 30% consistency rule. So one trading day cannot be more than 30% of your entire account. That's pretty much it. Managing your risk. So I think your drawdown, it's not a hard rule, but with a 50K account, you don't want to lose more than $700 a day, basically. Yeah, I think the difference is, Top Step, there's no consistency rule. Is that spread across 10 accounts? What do you mean, Trey? Sorry. A little bit of liquidity on the book here, up at 100. Market's starting to slow down a bit here. Remember, this has been a big drive this morning. 246 points right now. Yes, consistency rule per account, my friend. Yes, per account. You just want to trade them all together. Once you're profitable, or do them in batches, just trade the same size and look for base hits. I constantly say it. With Apex, you just want to be looking for base hits. With Top Step and Trader Finds and things like that, you can go for bigger wins. But with Apex, at least to start with, you want to go for base hits. If you have 20 accounts and you do $50 per day, $1,000 a day, that will add up very quickly. You do that for 3 or 4 months, you'll be laughing. You'll be amazed at how much money you're making. Where you go wrong is when you start slinging 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minis because you go on tilt. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it? The M5's so far away from the M5 flow zones. Top of those flow zones right now are at 933s. We're so far away. It's just in a hurry. These shorts are absolutely cooked right now this morning. I kind of wish I'd taken that orb trade. I think that's when I stepped away for the coffee. That was the easy one. If you missed this here this morning, this was your opening range. This was a nice trade, and then just run as far as you can get. Here's previous day high. That's what we're going for. Through that, we can think about previous week open, previous week high. That would take us above 250 into this block here. Right here. Right, so we get over this, and we might extend into this. And I tell you what, if the SPY wants to and ES wants to go for previous day high, then I think NQ will go a lot higher because SPY is lagging behind. AG took the orb after the retest. Yeah, it was a really good trade. I think it's exactly. I think I talked about it and I moved for my coffee, and I'm just not really with it today. But I'm trying to be honest with myself. I'm trying to be really honest with myself. Would I be here if I wasn't teaching? I wouldn't. I just wouldn't be here right now. I'm just too tired. I'm burnt out. I can definitely feel it. Trying to teach and trade and keep you guys safe in a market the Trump market, let's call it, where it's has a propensity, can't even talk properly, which says everything, which has the ability to do 100, 200 point, spikes, swipes, dumps, etc., in a matter of seconds. It's tough. Mentally, I'm pretty exhausted from it right now, so I wouldn't mind, a bit of an R&R session, which I might take this weekend. Plus, my wife's been away all week, and it might sound stupid, but the extra lift of walking my dog 3-4 times a day, especially when it's early morning, getting up at 5 o'clock to do that, and then sitting down here with you, and as soon as I finish, I have to walk her, like, a lot of stuff. Yeah, wifey's back tonight, so back to normal, and I can rest then at that point. All right, starting to see a pullback into those flow zones. The hourly transition, think about that old hourly close. We're into old hourly high. I'd say anywhere from now down into 1950. If they let go of that, then we're going to go a little deeper in this hourly. Maybe we can rebalance that old hourly candle if you like. What the flip is this man on about? Right, hourly bars. This was the old hourly bar. If it holds here, it has the ability to come in here. If it wants to come deeper and back test some of these levels, it can come into this old hourly bar before trying to find a bid, because really all we've done is straight squeeze. We would like to see some liquidity built out for this move, wouldn't we? Finally into the flow zones, but we're way away from any other time frame flow zone. Even the 2 minute, we're probably a decent amount away from it. Yeah. Maybe we wash some of these bulls at 44s first. Maybe not. Maybe this thing just goes straight upside. I don't know. Size on the tape, where are they? 18,987s. It's a long way away. 18,900, 141 lot. I don't think we come down there in a hurry. But again, we are in range. It's important to remind yourself we are in range. This is the range that we are in. All right. Failed breakout underneath that range. If we get above that range, maybe we go, maybe we do a failed breakout and come back into the range again. Who knows? But we are in range. You must respect that. Like I said, some reversal traders will be coming in short here. This is not a trade I like, but some people will be trying to play this back downside to come back down into the range. Hopefully that makes sense, everyone. This is why when we opened up here, I think yesterday, I was like, this is going to be a tough trading day now. Coming back into an area we'd spent 8 days. This is like the 9th or 10th day in this range now. Finally got knocked out for $1,760 done for the day. Thank you so much for your teaching, Alex. Good luck, team A. You're in an absolute heater right now. Congratulations, my friend. Just make sure you're locking those profits in and paying yourself. Paying yourself. Pull money out the market when you can. Pay yourself. You're doing good work. You're doing so good. You're going to have to, watch your overconfidence. Not that I think you're necessarily susceptible, but definitely for me, when I go on a heater, it can get easy for me to start oversizing, thinking I know everything. So pull the money out, pay yourself some money, come back tomorrow, do the same thing. But great work, Abe. Nice work. It's trying to reprice here already. It's trying to hold those flow zones just to go straight higher. There is no chill in this market here this morning. I'd much rather see a 2-leg pullback before I think about getting involved, if I'm going to get involved at all today. But this market has no chill. Low-hanging fruit's definitely been taken. Next job really is previous day high. That's it. But the pullbacks so far are shallow. Very, very shallow pullbacks, which is a sign that shorts are stuck in this market currently. Remember, this is a big move up. It can retrace this if it wants. If it starts failing, it can come down here. And then we have a second leg, and then maybe it offers this later in the day. If it can't do that, if shorts are still stuck here, if they keep adding and adding and adding and they fail to break lower, then it just goes straight rip higher. I would not be a buyer here, though. Look how high we are in the session. This is what the type of thing I would like to see. Something, some kind of rebalance. In fact, let's do a VWAP off the open as well. Did that do it? It doesn't look like it did it. There we go. I have to do the same on Ninja Trader. Remember, low-hanging fruits have been taken for buyers. Should not be thinking about a buy up here, in my opinion. It might still go higher, but you're either in this with a runner or you're not. I would need a much deeper pullback. And we are still in range. Absolutely. Think about the H1. Think about where we've just moved to. We said 65 to 165 is supply. How do we know? 1, 2, 3 weeks up here. Failures up here. We know sellers have been up here. We must respect that. If you were long this morning up to this, you must be selling some. Anything above this is a bonus at this point. Pay yourself some money. Remember, you're here to trade. You're not trying to invest and hold for, you know, multiple days unless you're a swing trader. You're here to trade. If you had a good trade there, 100, 200 points, make sure you're locking in. If they start failing here, we get that second leg, really one big leg, but second leg down here. If they start breaking under here, right? If we get this kind of move here and they start failing, we might get that second move down. And then if buyers come back in and we do this, then they will use this liquidity later in the day for one of these. It did so far, Peter, yeah. Feel like this needs a deeper retrace. It's just whether they're willing to let it happen. Tesla 2.65% up. Nvidia 1.87% up. Meta just over 1% up. Google just under 1%. Amazon 0.85%. Microsoft 1.88%. Apple just under 0.5% up. VIX still pretty much trading sideways in that demand block, stuck in that 27s block. Let's just call it 27s block. ES looks like it's trying to build to go higher here. Everyone's stacked up underneath trying to get fill. 19,050, 19,045, 19,040, 19,035, 19,030. Buyers just stacked up there with their limit orders trying to get filled. Be right back here, folks. Sorry about that, team. All right. Oh, still going higher. ES driving. Like I said, ES looked very, very good for this continuation higher. They're trying for a previous day high here. It's what they want to do. They're trying for previous day high. You want to be careful here if they start failing up here. But, you know, if you're still in this long, you look good. You look really, really, really good. These pullbacks are not very large, though, for this move up. Just going to measure out the spiders here. One sec. IB high yesterday. Into close. Coming into definitely congestion zone on SPY and ES. Even on a fib, on everything, on every level now. We're back testing on the ES. We're basically back testing this level here. This is where we are on the ES. We're back testing this level here. So relative strength today in the NQ. So if you're a buyer today, you want to be buying the NQs. NQ up 1.66% on the day. ES up 1%. Here's the continuation though. This thing's on a mission to get to previous day high and above right now. Mike, don't take it off. Just move your stop up. Just move your stop up rather than taking it off. And you know, then if it takes you out, it takes you out. But just move your stop up. You can move it nice and tight if you want. You can move it to 48. If you don't want to give away 10 points, you can just move it under that last minute candle. Move it up to 5,454. If you want to just do, you know, candle open, candle close. If you're getting that nervous and you don't want to give too much back, you can just keep moving it up. But you look good. I'm not sure where your entry is, Mike. Where did you get in? Were you in from the morning sort of flag? Are you in from the opening range? Looks good here. This is where we're trying to get up to. This is target 1 for the NQ. It's trying to get up into here, previous day high. If we get up that, I would be watching for a trade all the way up into previous week high, which would be 255s. Man, that 5-minute flag is so good on the NQ, but I mean, it's not. It's in such a hurry that the EMAs and flow zones can't get anywhere near it right now. 5,407 was my entry. 407. Nice, very nice. Just that like little dip into PDC and a hold and then a go. Beautiful. Yeah, you look fantastic. What a trade. You're up over 50 points here. What a trade. Good work. Good work. Hey, high five. Congratulate yourself. You're the one that has to click the buttons, do the hard work. Very, very nice. But you're back testing some of these levels here. I would say I'm just looking at the SPY here. Let me go to ES 1 second. Yeah, you want to see sort of 55s to 57 holds, really. You're very extended, but you'd want to see 55s to 57 holds. Don't want to give it more than that. Maybe 56. Sorry, I'm just looking left yesterday where we did that transition for you. If they can hold that, there's a chance of a rip. But you are super extended here, so you've got to imagine there needs to be a bit of a cooling off period here. You know, we've done 282 points straight up here in the first hour. Yeah, round of applause for Mike. Everyone give Mike a round of applause. 50-pointer on the ES is no joke. That is no joke. That is a fantastic trade. Way to go. Just sticking to your rules, taking the entry, managing the trade. Exactly how to trade. Exactly what other channels will not teach you when they're taking, you know, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 points on the ES when it's offering you this much range. It's exactly how to trade it, Mike. There will not be anyone in the market right now who's taking a better trade than that in the New York session. It's about as good as it gets, buddy. All right, so holding sort of those 56, 57s like we talked about. Here we go. It's going to try for another attempt for a squeeze higher. You get a breaker structure of the highs here, it can go. If they push and fail, game over. But they've got a chance here. This was the reason I said these levels. If you look left to yesterday, these were the transition points. If you look at the high yesterday at 9 o'clock, then look at the dip at sort of 10:15 to 11, and then another dip at 11 o'clock. These were the transition points. These were the areas where they're trying to hold and build liquidity. So here you go. There's the break to the upside. Lovely. So they held that same level. Those were key levels yesterday. Key levels again today. Just move your stop up now. You can manage this trade. You move your stop up. If you want to be aggressive, really aggressive now, you could move it all the way up to 61. 561s. Because we just broke out from there. It shouldn't need to come back and retest that. This is all a squeeze now. All of this is a squeeze for you. Ah, gotcha. Nice. Yeah, just manage the trade. Move your stop up to 61s. Some selling here on the Qs. 35s. Taken out like that. Gone. Reloading here again. Taken out again. Gone. Someone got filled there. Next level 150s on the book. Do not get tempted to buy this, folks, by the way. This is asking for one of these to happen later in the day, right? We do not want to be buying up here. You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. We have 2 entries today, really. Here's your first. Here's your second. This is the orb. After that, I don't even really like that. I would have liked this. But I guess if you're a flow zone buyer, then, you know, it's offering you dips all day long. But just, I would not be buying in supply by previous day high when we're up 292 points now. Yeah, initial balance almost set. Be set in just under a minute. And then we think about what type of day we go into. All right, VIX tested previous day low, found a tiny bit of a bid here. Watching these levels, I've got to zoom in here on the VIX. Where's my mouse gone? There we go. QQQ, NQ very close to previous day high. If you're still in the Qs, you want to be taking more profit into the next push towards previous day high. Here's your initial balance now set. IB rules now apply, folks, and your IB is a decent size today, just shy of 300 points. We would expect previous day high to get taken. It's just whether it's got enough juice left without doing a new trap. We are in a straight slingshot higher. Do not be buying into supply. Their red boxes here are for a reason. It's because it's where sellers have turned up. We would need breaks above, pullbacks in, and holds. Any tariff news will give it all back. Yeah, well, not any tariff news, because if they say tariffs are gone, that won't give it all back. We will go 5,000 point ripper upside, new all-time highs. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Raphael. Kaladin says, I missed both the opening and the orb trade. Sitting on my hands is hard, but it's necessary. You are doing the right thing. Yeah, so you should be... We get so fixated on dopamine hit by either having a winning trade or making money. But you need to be congratulating and rewarding yourself for doing the right thing, for sticking to the process. So whether that be sitting out because you've missed it, it's great. It's exactly how you need to trade. Whether that be taking a loss, right? If you've put a trade in place, if that's the correct trade to take and it doesn't work out and you take a loss, you need to find a way of congratulating yourself to do that. Because if you don't, if you get upset that you are taking correct losses, you are not rewarding yourself for doing the right thing. And then next time when you need to take that loss and it's the right thing to do, you won't do it and you will get yourself stuck. It's the common thing. It's the hardest thing with trading because you've got to learn to find a way to take a loss and be okay with it and be better than okay with it, to congratulate yourself on the process. We don't do that enough. Like, I can't think of anything in the world where you need to do that. Normally in sport, you're rewarded for the win. It's a bit like, you need to think about it like, let's say you're playing tennis and you're playing against a player that's better than you, but you play really well and you get beaten. You need to be able to go back to the locker room, or any sport. You need to go back to the locker room and be like, I got beaten by a better player today, but I'm proud of how I went about my business. That's how you need to be when you're trading. So initial balance high here. We're trying to base above. Totally, Coop. It's hard to do, but the more we do it, the easier it gets. I'm a strong believer that if you can get used to taking multiple losses in a row and not going on tilt, you'll rewire your brain to be like, I'm okay with doing that. I'm okay with doing that. I'm okay with doing that. Cladden saying, I need a treat jar next to me on the screen. One cookie every time I do a good trading choice. Hey, if you're a good trader, you're going to be a rather large person very quickly. Okay. Still in trend up here. Again, no deep pullback. We are stuck at the initial balance high. The low-hanging fruit left is the previous day high across all the indexes. QQQ and NQ are very, very close to taking it. Once we take that, the next stop will probably be previous week high. All right, probably be previous week high, which is way up at 256. Another 100 points up there if it wants to go for it. DK had a big loss yesterday. I'm now break even, just watching now. So grateful that the market reversed today. Thursdays are usually red days, as in red days for you. Good to know your stats there, DK. That's important. Really good. Shorts are definitely stuck in this. Really stuck. That's why all the pullbacks are very shallow. Shorts are absolutely cooked. They've been cooked for 2 days now. It's Thursday today, Wednesday, Tuesday. That reversal on Tuesday had them stuck. They were all looking for that push up to fade back down towards the lows, which is what I was looking for. They didn't get it. They got that gap up overnight. So swing shorts from Monday, Tuesday are stuck. If we start breaking out of weekly highs, wow, they are going to be in so much pain. So much pain. So far, we're holding that IB. Very close to previous day high, holding the initial balance. You would think it will pop PDH and then make a decision. Here it goes for PDH, having another attempt here. PDH, remember, is that red line above you. That's where it's looking to trade into. It's looking to take that liquidity at PDH out. Lots of swing shorts will be up there. That's yesterday's high. We get up there, then we're going to start driving higher. Here we go. PDH now taken. All right, so that's your next level taken. Those of you still holding. The next level you're looking for is really previous week high. So I would say, what's the transition here? 230 to 260, we get through that, we go 400s. Again, very, very high here in the session. Lack of structure here. Look at the H1, look at the M5, look at the M15. They are straight up without a retrace. We've had one, on M5, we've had one red candle, if you want to call it red. We've had one pullback candle all session. In an hour and 7 minutes, we've had one pullback candle. That's it. Cladden, I'm only just getting my brain trained properly to respect losses and sit on my hands on the day when it doesn't go well for me. You're doing well for staying out and letting it come to you. Yeah, absolutely. Jack Huckins, done for the day. Back to the novel. Nice. Yeah, exactly, Jack. Exactly. Trade for freedom. Now you can go and write your novel, continue working on your script and film. Exactly what to do. You've worked an hour and a bit today. You made your money. Get off the charts. Go and do something that you love. Go and do your passion, your hobby. And we continue to go higher. This is looking for a previous week high now. It is amazing the lack of structure that this is building, but I'm not surprised. I think shorts are absolutely caught here. This is strong, very, very strong. It's trying to get up to, what did I say? 256. Yeah, basically the top of this. This is where it wants to go. Don't be surprised if they need to sweep before getting up there. Where is PDH on ES? Way higher still. 5,500. 5,500 on the ES is where it wants to go. Remember, we got up there yesterday and we failed by, I think it was a tick. I think it was actually a tick. So back down towards the IB here. Do they start letting this go now? Do they start going for that sort of move downside because they've taken the low-hanging fruit of PDH on the NQ? That's the question. Do they let go of the IB? Do they do a rotation? I'd say lots of stops here. All right, so they might do something like this into here, and maybe from this, if they regain it, they do this move here. If they stay heavy under here, we can roll back down. I'd say a trade into here is possible if you're looking to trade the edges. Not what I'm looking for. I'd rather wait for the long. But this is possible down into here to sweep these guys. Maybe into here if it doesn't get that far. If we go sideways there too long, a bigger trade opens up for later in the day. If we do this move and they are unable to do this, you will use this liquidity for a breakdown. So far, that initial balance is holding. Yeah, you're all right. Everything you're all saying in chat is correct. Gladden's saying, everything in trading goes against how our brain is wired and conditioned. Takes hard work and discipline to get good at this. Absolutely correct. And Coop's saying the same. It will always be there. Our triggers don't disappear. We just need to learn what they are, recognize them, and don't give in to weakness. Exactly. Exactly that. People that say control your emotions. You cannot control your emotions. All you can do is control your reaction to your emotions. If someone upsets you, they're going to upset you. If something causes fear or greed, it's going to cause fear or greed. The only thing you can control is how you act after that emotion hits. That's why journaling is important. Understanding when that emotion is likely to hit and why, and then you can limit yourself. Like for me today, why am I not really actioning anything? What is my checklist that we do at the beginning of every day? Have I slept enough? Big cross. What does that mean? Likely to do something stupid. What does that mean? Propensity to then go on tilt. Imagine I do something wrong. I take the wrong position with the wrong size, and then I get annoyed, and then I start doing something even more stupid because I've already made one bad decision. Then I impact it by doing the second thing bad, and then I go tilt the third thing bad, and then before you know it, I've had a big old red day, all because I was too tired at the start of the day. I don't think emotions are necessarily trainable. I think it's more our reaction to it. You know, I think if I go and punch anyone in the face, they're going to be annoyed. Right? It's natural. Everyone experiences grief, joy, despair, guilt, fear, greed, all these feelings. They're normal. We're humans. We're not robots. We're humans. How we react to that, we can control, though. Starting to see a bit of weakness here. ES coming back down to that IBL. Mike, congratulations, Mike. Mike nailed 61 points there. Is that your biggest ever trade, Mike? In terms of... maybe, JD. I mean, let's just say my degree is in psychology. I've got a Bachelor of Science 2-1 with honours. So I'm not a complete moron, but that's how I feel. Great work, Mike. All right, so a little wash underneath the IB. You can see the struggle starting to come in here. Battle here. How low do we go on this wash now? That's the question. Are they finished squeezing? Where did we say? Key levels. You can see it. Look left. Here and here. How we act here is key. Do they find a dip here? Do they do this move to join in? Or do they find heaviness here or build liquidity out and fail? If they fail there, where are we going? Down. I expect them to try and trap shorts here, though. I would expect them to try and do some kind of thing like this, and you can join long later in the day, because ES still has unfinished business above if it wants to get going. But QQQ and NQ just took the liquidity. Let's see how low we can go here. Just a reminder, I think today is the last day for Apex. Is it Apex that ends today or Traderfy? One of them ends today. I always forget. I think Traderfy's end of the month. 30% off. They might still have 35% off. I'm not sure. They did an extra sale now because there is no payout windows. Not sure when that ends. I will have to check up. Apex, I think, ends today. I think Apex, you've got until midnight for 90% off. Just a reminder, those interested. Take profit remains at 30% off with no activation fee. All right, into that first key level then. Like we talked about here and here. These are the levels. And we have to see how we react at these levels. VIX finding a bid so far at the bottom of its demand block. Remember, we talked about in front of previous day low, 27.12. So we hit a low today of 27.13. We've drifted back up towards 27.50. We're still in a demand block there. Yeah, Traderify has lots of new stuff coming. Lots and lots and lots. They've got lots in the works between Brett and his team. New backend, new stats. There might be a deeper wash here in the market down to those levels. And at that point, it's probably going to look to trap, you would imagine. Remember, we took liquidity of a previous day high. This H1's got a long way to rebalance if it wants. Same with the H4. Yeah, he calls it SMT, also known as divergence. But just because we're going to do a move down now doesn't mean we don't come back for it later. And that's where ICT traders get a little stuck. They think, oh, this has to be a reversal because one's taken liquidity, one hasn't, and we've got divergence. It doesn't mean that. It can just mean a pullback to go back for it later. Like we said, we've taken the low-hanging fruit. We expect a pullback. We expect a trap somewhere in here, maybe underneath here. But if we reclaim this, right, and ES still has a low-hanging fruit to go for, then we expect NQ can drive up with it and maybe go and take out previous week high if it really wants to get going. But we expect this pullback here. We've had a huge move all day, haven't we? Monstrous move. How far can we pull back to? That's the question. Where do we set a trap, if we set a trap at all? Bulls have had their fun this morning. But these are the kind of levels where we think somewhere in here soon, you would imagine they will set a trap. Maybe a big old flush that's absorbed and we go straight back upside. It would not surprise me in the slightest. Momentum lower time frame definitely shifted, but if you look at an M5, everything like that, we're still very, very bullish. If you look at M15, bullish. H1, bullish. H4, bullish. Daily, still in range. But I want to see a bear trap. If I'm going to get involved in this, I want to see a bear trap. I want to see them move down, steal a bit of internal liquidity, make shorts think, hey, we're going for a reversal, and then I want to see us go higher. If they're going to do that already after taking this one internal low, I'm going to be peed off. But we said it's going to be between here and here, one of these lows, this one or this one. I'd rather this one because then I get VWAP to join in, but they're already doing that move. I'd rather it comes lower first. Adam, it's not necessarily that I look at it the opposite way. There's definitely divergence between the two of them, but it's just knowing that, you know, just because we have divergence and a move off it doesn't mean we can't come back for it later. That's the big key. Momentum is absolutely upside right now. But like we talked about, we're still in a range. The daily is still in a range. We're still into areas where we've found failures 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times around these areas. I don't want to be a buyer up high. I'm looking for some form of bear trap to get involved in. If we can get a bear trap, I like it. Take care, Peter. Nice trade today to the long side. Good work, my friend. Still holding here, isn't it? It is still holding here. It is not what I want to see. I want to see us go deeper, but so far they are just holding price up here. Do they do that sort of Inverted head and shoulders look early. Let's call it early. Looks like it. All right, you're going to make me join this. Would much rather this comes lower first. Much rather we come lower first. But it looks like they're just going to sweep that one level right now. So there is where they trapped. This is what they're trying to do. If they reclaim this, they go higher. I would rather this move happens down here. All right, I'd much rather see this here. All right, it offers me better RR1. There's my risk. There's TP1. There's TP2. That's what I'd rather, but at the moment, it's not offering it to me. Remember, we're above an upward sloping VWAP. We're above deep pullback flow zones. Love something around here. I would love it. Where is our... Oh my God, we're so far away from these levels. Got to be very aware if they do let go of this. Got to be very aware of this move here because this is thin. Look how straight up that is. Easily reprice out. That's that H1 bar. If they let go of this, this will happen. I'd like a trap there. I want all shorts to basically think about this move, and I want a candle that goes down and up so that breakout shorts come in, and then we reverse them, then they start stopping out, and I use them to go higher. That's what I would like. If it doesn't set up for me, then I won't get a trade here. That's okay. I'm going to mark it out just so I don't have to keep holding my mouse over it. Let me do... Where was the New York Open? Let's measure this quickly. Yeah, nice confluence into 50%. Come lower, come lower, come lower, come lower. Give me the trade I want. No worries, Adam. Miguel, the Apex, is there a trailing drawdown with the eval as well or end of day? Yeah, eval as well. Trailing drawdown on everything until you get past the buffer. That's why I say take your time, size down. Trailing drawdown will not be a problem if you size down. It would be a problem if you oversize and if you let your winners go too far without moving a trail. It would be a problem, especially if you're oversized. If you let a winner go up and come back and break even, if you're oversized, it will be a problem. This is building out. This is a pain. I need this to be a bear flag, not because I want short, but I need them to do this move here for me. At the moment, they're holding absolutely everything. It feels like they've trapped versus this. There's a BPR for you ICT traders. It's just a little imbalance holding, and this is what they're trying to do micro, and this is what they're trying to do slightly higher time frame. I really want it down here before it does that move, but shorts are cooked. Here's a retest of initial balance high here on the ES. I need them to sell this. Need them to sell it. Back to IB high we go. ES testing it now, already through it. They're going to do it without me. Ay, ay, ay. Come on, folks. So many of you made some of your biggest trades you've had today on stream. 60 likes. Do or die here, I'd say. Bulls want it back over here. build this liquidity to go up. Shorts want to reject IB to come down here. I want the shorts to take control here, personally, because I'm selfish and I want a cheap trade. I want a cheap trade lower to buy it back with a nice trap. Is there an apex with trailing? Oh, sorry, that's the same question. I thought that was a new question. My bad, Miguel. Trying to reclaim IB here. Do or die time for these lower time frame traders right now. Right at that IB. Again, I would like this to break lower so I can get a cheaper trade, but at the moment it's not showing a willingness to do that. VIX potentially doing a bear flag here on an M5, rejecting its M5 flow zones. If VIX starts breaking down towards lows, then this market has a slingshot upside for that PWC, but we'll see. Maybe on this new Audi bar. Wait for this new Audi bar. 2 minutes. Get down. Get down. Do me a favor and get down. What is this news? I see so much news hitting the wire all of a sudden. Let's have a look. Trump saying fentanyl continues to pour into our country from China through Mexico and Canada. Reiterates criticism of China. Boeing should default on China for not taking the planes. Still building here. New hourly candle coming in the next 15 seconds or so. Let's see what we do. Either a dump or a rip coming up, I would expect. Here comes the new hourly candle. Can we sweep those levels that we've got in here that we're looking at? Can we break down here first to trap some shorts in to go higher? That's the question I'm posing right now for the market. So far, unwilling to do it. Shorts are absolutely cooked. And so we're not giving them an out at all. And we're not letting them add back in. And we're not providing me with the trade I want, but so be it. It is what it is. Everything basing at that IB for now. It will become clear and obvious soon. There is the chance for them to put in a lower high, lower low here, which is what I'd like them to do, to then come and sweep, to then be absorbed, to go back up later. That's what I would like. It's the only way I'm going to get trade here, I think. What are my settings for VWAP on NinjaTrader? Just normal, no standard deviations. Just a normal VWAP, and then I have an anchor as well. Same thing I do on here, just anchor off New York Open. It's called VWAP X or something. So there's a free VWAP if you don't have it on Ninja. I think it's on, it should be on the ecosystem. Pretty sure it's on NinjaTrader ecosystem, that free VWAP. All right, come on. Lower high, lower low. Break it down, do the bear flag, trap some shorts in. Give me a cheaper buy back option, please. Again, I want to be careful. I'm trying to remind myself we are still in range. We are still in range. If they want to do a full rotation, they can. Why am I saying that? Here is the top of the range. Oh, this white line, basically. It is the bottom of the range. This is the... Oh, and you're going to let me draw it. This is the dance in the range. No, apparently I can't draw it. Come on. There's the failed breakdown. Here's the drive up. Might need to do something like this before it does it. Can also just fail. Can also come up here and then go, nope, we're coming back down. Just kidding. Everything's possible. Why is everything possible? Because nothing's changed in here. Remember, this big candle was on the 90-day pause. Since then, we faded all the way back, found buyers in here, coming back up to the 90-day pause, but nothing's changed. If we get a sentiment shift where maybe the earnings are good, maybe Trump says, hey, we're close to a deal with China. You know, hey, we're never going to do a deal with China. Possible. All right, anything's possible in here while there's no sentiment shift. And I'm trying to remind myself that while I'm thinking about buying, because what I don't want to do is buy up here. Not when we're in a range. We're not outside of a range, so I need to respect it. Here's another attempt at the IB high here. Volume coming in here. Paul G, how do I get VIX market data? If you don't already have it on TradingView, you've probably just got to pay for it. You can pay for it in TradingView. If you're talking about NinjaTrader, same thing. You'd have to make sure you're paying for the correct data. Okay, coming back up to previous day high. Like I said, volume stepping in here. If that's it for the trap, it's going to be very tough for me to get involved. If this microstructure is it, and they're going to go for this, it's going to be very hard for me to get involved. I really want these guys out the way first. Previous day high being tapped again here. Like we said, unfinished business on the ES. If ES wants to get going, it's unfinished business. These are big hourly candles. You cannot be buying high on these. It's unfortunate. It's not giving me what I want, but so be it. Last buy off flow zones, instantly offering you 40, 50 points. The reason I want a pullback is I want the H1 to form one of these. If we think about what H1 looks like, I want this to go up here, and I want shorts trapped in here because they're going to help me get up here. Just doesn't feel like it's going to give it to me today. Now reclaiming PDH, back up towards high of day, current high of day. Watching the book here to see if they add any liquidity higher above current day highs. If they fail to take out higher day, that would be the first failure attempt. That would be the first attempt to take out a higher day that fails. That would show some sign of exhaustion from the bulls if they do that. There is some selling at 200 here. That I would say this is the first failed attempt, unless they're going to absorb this for another go. We are above the initial balance. Everything's above the initial balance, but we're right at previous day high here. These are big levels where we're at. If we start to build liquidity here, we can trade all the way up to 255s. I'd feel much more confident about that trade if VIX was breaking down, though, which it isn't right now. It's just trading sideways. It's been in a tightening range all morning long. Just going to have another attempt. It might go here. Like I said, ES has got unfinished business. I really don't want this to go. I want it lower. Come back for me first. Oh. Holding PDH very well here for a drive higher. Oof. Just checking the SPY. We're right into those levels. If we close the cup on the SPY at previous day high, then I think, we're just going to get going. But we're just building out that kind of giant right shoulder or giant. I think we're going to do it. I just wanted to see a trap, but I think we're going to go and take out PDH on the SPY. I just want to see a trap first. The only thing that would change my feeling about that is if we get some kind of headline which changes the game. If I was a buyer on ES, I'd want to be buying underneath the 56s, really. Buyer on NQ, really, I'd like to be buying under here. Just doesn't look like it's going to give it to me. All right, it's off to the races then. $180 break here for previous day high. We'll send it. It'll run the stops. Here we go. And there's the send it. I'm in this now. Small size. Because it forced my flipping hand. It's not what I want to do, but Already stopping the money. Lovely. Taking some here for that. Want to see ES, see if it can join in here. Here we go. Moving my stop up. Like we said, this can be very, very aggressive because these guys are getting cooked now. So I'm in here from previous day high, already up 40, 50 points or something. Oh my God. Oh, there's the 200s. Lock in a little bit here. See if you can trade up to previous week open, which would be 24s, and then previous week highs up to 55s. If you're trading ES, you're looking for a drive all the way up to 5,500. Right, like I said, unfinished business, likely to come back for it. This is reaccumulation to go higher. I wanted a trap under here, but it only offered one under here. So be it. Maybe shoulda, woulda, coulda. But once we did this, I joined here. I would have added in here. And once it proved itself, once the VIX started rolling, we get that slingshot, locking money in already. The 200s here, psychological level. You're going to help struggling traders become successful traders. Hopefully, Trentry. That's why I'm here, to teach and help. Jeff, big W. Hey, I love it. Nice work, mate. Nice work. Yeah, we just had to join the momentum. Unfortunately, Alex was looking for traps and dips, but we just had to join the momentum. It's not my day. It didn't fill me by less than a point. 11975, 119, 11975, 11. Oh, on this one here. It's unfortunate. It happens, Gus. If you've bit like, do you know what your triggers are? For me, if I take like 3 or 4 break evens in a row, or in a trading session, or I miss fills 2 to 3 times, that's trigger point for me. So, you know, you're already saying it's not my day. You sat in your hands for a while. You wait to get filled. You didn't get it. I would consider walking away at this point. I would consider walking away because mentally you're already saying this is not my day. So you've already putting yourself in a position where you can do something that you shouldn't. Yeah, just walk away then, buddy. Come back tomorrow. It's the right thing to do. Get some rest. Go and do something that fills your cup. Get outside, play some sport, whatever it is you like doing. See some friends, family. Come back tomorrow. It's not a day missed. The market will be here forever and ever and ever and ever, and it's providing opportunities every day. So don't worry. Don't even worry about it. Doesn't even matter, does it? Don't even worry about it. So ES tapped into its supply block. I had that supply block on ES from 82.50s all the way up to 549.75. I do think it will want to try and get up all the way to previous day high. It's just, did it catch? My question is, did enough shorts get caught in that? Like, I'm kind of surprised. The reason I'm saying that is this is a huge move and this is very small. I would say in my mind, shorts get caught here for a breakout short and then we do it, which is what I was waiting for. But hey, yet again, market doesn't do what I want. What do we have here? What is this? Do. They're trapped. Once we reclaim IB, once we reclaim this, where are we going? This is the target right now. You should be looking to hold up into this if it will allow it. You should be watching ES. If ES gets to previous day high before we get to previous week high, you better be locking some in. Jeff Morris, I'm glad I found your channel. I'm learning every day. Hey, thanks, Jeff. Happy to help. Happy to help. If you like how I teach, if you like my system, if you want to learn more, you can, of course, do the course. Link is underneath. One-time fee. It is a 20-hour on-demand 40-module course, and with that you get my Discord and the flow zone indicators for free. I will be doing a video soon on these advanced version of these for NinjaTrader. For those that are interested, they are available on my website now. If you go, I think they're on the website, but definitely on Teachable. Paul G saying the best channel. Hey, I really appreciate it, guys. Like I said, I never made this channel with the intention or with the thought that it would help so many people. It's amazing. I learned a big lesson. Only high conviction trades. Yes, exactly. A+ trades. Phenom, I went on tilt last night with gold. Had to shut off my computer to save my account. I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. I'm sorry to hear that. Gold offered a pullback yesterday. Let me have a quick look at it. I haven't looked. I know it offered a pullback yesterday. There was the pullback. This was yesterday's range. So starting to build for potential upside. So you've got to think about this on gold. This is nothing more than a pullback. If they hold this range, it has this area here to go upside. Now, what you got to understand with gold is it's a risk-off asset. All the time with this market that we cannot make a decision on tariffs, we have the ability to print higher. You can think about this. 1, 2, what's this? This is the trap under here. These are the type of moves that I'm looking for in a small time frame today to go higher. This is what it wants to do, or at least to take out this here, maybe a 61. Maybe it needs to base here before going up. Maybe it fails there and comes back down. It will all depend on what happens with these tariffs. But I'm not sure where you traded it, but I would say the moment this happened here, above here, we're in a buy. There's your low-hanging fruit, low-hanging fruit. Fails here, comes back down, it's holding the same level. All the time it's holding here, it might build to go higher. We break back down under here, then you have this liquidity to be used to go lower. It's a patience game. Trading is just a patience game. It will test your patience. How much patience have you got? How long can you wait for the trade to come to you? And how much can you adjust your position? And how much, we talked about it. One thing we talked about, those who are in Discord, one thing I talked about, and I think I talked about it in the voice note, I can't remember, is our egos, all right? Humans, we have egos, unfortunately. It's what we have. See, we're tapping into supply here. We have egos, and egos get in the way of us achieving our goals. Why do they get in the way of us achieving our goals? Because our egos as human beings make us not admit faults. They make us have, confirmation bias because we want to be right. So if we say this is going to happen, it has to happen because I said it's going to happen and I have to prove that I'm right. Well, the market doesn't give two flying Fs about your ego, all right? In fact, the market's built to prove you're wrong. The market is built to take everyone's money away from them. And it's important that we do self-reflection. The only way we get better, not just in trading, but in life, is to work on our egos. That involves working on our patience, working on our anger, understanding why we go on tilt. We go on tilt because of our egos. All right. Let's say you take 3 losses in a row. Why does that hurt so much? It's because you've got an ego. It's because your ego doesn't want to admit that you've been wrong 3 times. If you're moving your stop and you're adding into a loser, why are you doing that? It's because your ego does not want to admit that you are wrong. All right. And this isn't like you, it's us collectively. Right? No one is better than that. And we all have the same issues. And really, when we're talking about mastering trading, okay, we can master what we're looking at, the candles. We can understand the structure. We can understand liquidity and all these things. But really, mastering trading is about mastering yourself. Can you become the best possible version of yourself? Can you drop the ego? Can you understand what your trigger points are? Can you be patient enough to let the trade come to you and set up? And can you wait that if it doesn't come to you, your ego doesn't be like, well, you didn't make money today, that's your fault, force yourself into a trade? Can you sit there and be like, hey, okay, I didn't make money today, I'll come back tomorrow, great, I'm going to have a fantastic day? These are the questions, all right? These are the things that you need to journal. I go over a lot of this in the course, but you need to journal more than what money you made and what your setup is. What you really need to be understanding is your emotion before the trade, during the trade, after the trade, before the day starts, at the end of the day. There's a reason every day on stream I say, are you fit and able to trade today? Have you had enough sleep? Have you drunk enough water? Have you eaten? Have you woken up in a good mood? Have you had, something go on outside your life? Because if that's happened, you're already putting yourself in a bad position. Trading is, let's not beat around the bush. Trading is the most rewarding job you can do in the world. There is no ceiling on top of you. You can earn infinite amounts of money, but you've got to earn that right. All right, you have to earn the right to earn infinite amounts of money. And that comes from mastering yourself. If it was easy, everyone would do it. There's a reason that trading is really, really hard. It's because we have to master ourselves. Most people, first of all, they won't put the time into the screens, all right? They won't do their 10,000 hours. They won't take time to understand what's going on in front of them. That's the first thing. They quit way, way too quick. And the second thing is they won't do the work on themselves. I know so many people that can look at a chart and tell you exactly what's happening, why it's happening, where the liquidity is, where we're going to drive to. But can they trade that? No. Why can't they trade it? Because they just can't. They have the inability to control fear and greed. They have the inability to master themselves. That's why you have some people which are amazing analysts and some people which are amazing traders. Your job's to be a great trader, not a great analyst. Well, ideally both. But you need to master yourself, all right? You really need to master yourself. That's it. And what I would say, the thing I love about trading, other than its financial freedom and all these things, I really do believe it will make you a better version of yourself. Here we go, drifting back down now. So maybe they trapped some buyers up here who didn't take profits. Maybe we come back down into these levels for later in the day. I will set price alerts down here. We're running out of time, 40 minutes left. If they want to do that rotation after hitting, ES did hit that level. I'm going to get back to that discussion very, very shortly. ES did hit into supply there. All right, we slapped into supply there. It still has the ability to hold here to go higher. Again, the best trade for me will be a trap. A trap low with shorts piling into the market will be the best possible trade. Remember, we're very, very, very extended. Right now, we're trading into a point of control. Where is it? We're trading into, this is where all the volume was created today. So far, this is supply overhead. We're not doing this move here. This move here is likely, and maybe we defend somewhere here. I would love this move here. I would absolutely love it, like we talked about. What would I like to see? Flag on the H1. So we need a pullback to reprice some of this and then go up. It might not happen today, folks. It might not happen today. It might be that we build out here and the next leg comes later on. Let's get back to the discussion because I think it's important. Some of you might need to hear this. Trading will make you a better version of yourself. It will teach you things you will not learn elsewhere. All right, you will not learn the patience that you require in trading from anything else in your life. You will have to have some hard, deep looks in the mirror. There will be days where you want to quit, where you want to give it all up, where you are so furious with yourself, but you will blame everything else. You will blame the market. You will blame manipulation. You will make excuses up. You will make excuses up for the losses that you're taking. But the truth is your fault. All right, I've been there. I remember I went through a rough patch. It would have been 3 and a bit years ago, blaming everything else. Could not get out of my own way. Ended up taking a small break, went to Topanga for like a 4-day retreat. Came back feeling fresh, had to have a strong, hard look at myself there. I was like, mate, you have an issue stopping out right now. You got to sort yourself out. All right, so these are the things. Once you sort that, I guarantee you sort these things out, everything in your life will feel better. Because you are going to have so much more patience with your friends, with your kids, with your wife, with your husband, whoever it is. You'll have patience. You will have compassion. You will have understanding. You will be able to listen. You'll be able to analyze better. It will make a massive difference in your life if you're willing to put in that work. That work takes time, which comes on to the next thing I talked about in Discord yesterday. You have got to give yourself time in the markets, all right? Time in the markets. It might take you 2-3 years to find real true consistency. Some people will learn it very quick. It's all down to personality types. Time in the markets, you can give yourself that time in the markets by doing what? Sizing down. Size down. It's the first thing. You need to learn emotional control, so you've got to have some skin in the game. So while you're learning what setups are, while you're learning how to plot, levels on charts, sure, do it sim. While you're learning that, do it sim. But if you need some skin in the game, if you want to learn what it feels like to be emotionally connected to a trade, you've got to have some skin in the game. So you've got to do an eval, right? Don't put your own money in there. Do an eval. Cheap eval. Do that. Learn what it feels like to be the wrong side of a trade. Learn what it feels like to be the right side of a trade. Buy yourself time. Take your time with your evals. Stop treating them like they're worthless and just sending it gambling all the time. Don't do that, especially if you're starting out. Take your time. It's different. If you're a proven trader and you've got a good track record and a winning rate and you're taking money out of the markets and you want to be aggressive on your evals, you've earned that right. All right, you've earned that right to pass that eval quick to get it to the PA stage. But once it's then a professional account, you slow down. You go back to trading normal. If you're learning and you're new, don't do that, because there's no good you passing the eval by slinging and gambling big size and passing it. What are you then going to do when it's a professional account? What are you doing at that point? Because if you haven't learned the skills to be consistent, you're not going to do anything with those professional accounts. So buy yourself time. Take time. Slow down. Lean on others. It doesn't just have to be me. There's tons of people out there. And I'm not just talking about, YouTube channels and professional traders. Lean on your community. You will all be experiencing something very, very similar. Find a trade buddy. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I was saying you'll be surprised how many of you are going through the same thing. I know it because I've been through it, and I have friends that do this as a profession and family members. And I talk to them for years and years and years and years. We all experience the same thing, all right? No one goes through trading without experiencing rough times. It's part of it. So lean on each other. Find a trading buddy. Find someone who you have to be honest with at the beginning and end of each day. This is how I feel. These were my results on the day. This is where I went wrong. Because if you can't be honest with yourself, then you need to find someone who you're going to have to show your results to every day. It will make a difference. All right, back to the charts. What are we doing here? We're repricing this big candle. We're holding IB and we're holding this. But this right now feels like a little bit of a failed break. And we might need to build some more liquidity. Nothing has changed for me. This is the new channel. I still would prefer something down here, but I feel like less and less likely it's going to do it. But that's what I'd prefer. If this is a failed break and they build this out and they start letting go, it's potential then that they rotate and take this one out and then this one out. So maybe there's a short down to here. It's potential. And once we get down there, it's got a decision to make. Either it does the trap that I'm looking for, and I'll be joining here and here and here for the upside move, as long as it's still low-hanging fruit left for it to go for, or we use loads of liquidity, build for ages and ages and ages and ages. We reject supply up here like we've seen the red block, and we puke. We've seen it do it before. When was the last time we saw it? Yesterday. Failed to hold above. There's the neckline. And puke. Right? Same kind of thing, except today I would like to see this whole thing, but with this. So this move here that happened, do you see this? I want this to happen here in terms of today's session. Repeatable process. You can already see I know what I'm looking for. It's just whether it delivers it for me. Looks very similar to yesterday, doesn't it? Can we get down to here and then fail to stay heavy under this? I'd basically say this is an over-under for the day. I'd say 19,000 to sort of 19,050 is an over-under. If you think about that H1, we've got a sort of a double distribution kind of day. 19,032 to 19,050 is kind of the edge. Here, let me show you, sorry. Volume. You'd want them to protect this. So we're looking for a pullback into here to hold to go high. If they don't protect that, this is thin. How do we know this is thin? Let's go up to the TPO. What is this? These are single prints. They must protect value area low to go higher. If they fail to protect it, we go back into single prints. Lots of ways of seeing it, but it's the same thing every way. All right, so first of all, did that chat help and make sense? And then let's go back to the charts. Got to move the chat over so I can read it. I'm blind as a bat. JD Florida Man, I don't know what I'd do without this channel. Thank you, Alex. Hey, thank you for turning up every day. Thank you all for turning up every day. Aaron, yeah, it's the best. I'm waiting for music. Well, maybe I do need some music on this channel. Yeah, don't worry, Phenom. You're saying you missed one. Don't worry. It's okay. Abe, well said. Thank you for all the wisdom. Appreciate you. I appreciate all of you turning up. You need to have 1 million subscribers, real traders, real wisdom. It will happen in time. Remember, I've only been trading on this channel since September live, so it's fairly new. See, the big guys have been going for, either they've been going for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years, or, you know, they had people like ICT endorsing them with their millions of traders. Becoming a psychiatrist. Definitely not. Definitely not. Not all 10,000 hours are the same. That is also true, TR. That is also true. What I would say, if you can learn to survive this market, you're going to find trending markets very, very easy. If we go back to like some vaguely normal range and a normal price action, you're going to find it very, very easy. Paul G saying you only learn from pain. Yeah, I would agree with that. Unfortunately, I can tell you, we talked about this last week. I can tell you what to do and what not to do, but you've got to fall off your bike and hit your head a few times, unfortunately. Can I turn into Yoda when I say these things? Maybe I'll get a costume. Greg G, how long did it take me to become profitable when I first started? I've been on a losing streak trying to snap out of it. Blew a couple of personal accounts, I think you mean there. It took me a while. I'd say after a year, I thought I was doing really good and starting to find some consistency. And then I hit some like major hurdles. And that went on for a while. And I had to dig pretty deep and have a good hard look at myself. I struggled in a market which changed during Trump, very much like what you guys are experiencing now. At the time, I was trading a very different system. I was short on overextensions, and Coop, remember, this is how long Coop will know me from 2019. I was short on standard deviations outside a third deviation on small caps. Right, so when I get an overextension on a daily outside a third deviation, I was looking for sells back inside, especially on horrible weak names. Unfortunately, what happened, and which I didn't really understand at the time, was, oh yeah, Chandler's here, Razorback was there. I didn't know he was in chat. These are my old trading buddies. At the time, we started printing money and injecting capital into the market. And those third standard deviations became completely irrelevant because we quickly started going to 4, 5, and 6 standard deviations on small caps. And runners that would do 30% on the day would suddenly do thousands of percent. And I got wrecked and I didn't adapt to the market. And I had to really dial in and look at what was going on and start to try and learn more and shift and adapt to market conditions. It's why I keep saying to you guys at the moment, be patient. Be patient with yourself. Don't force your way in this market. This market doesn't give two craps about you, me, or anyone else. All right. And news will change the market conditions. You saw it yesterday. A headline from a newspaper gave us a, what was it, 260-point swipe in about 40 seconds or something. So it takes some time, Greg. Market conditions change. You have to change with those conditions. I don't know how long you've traded for or what your setups are or all those things. But the other thing that just helped me is when I started to analyze where I was weak and started removing those setups. Right. So if I wasn't good at a setup, I just started getting rid of it. Back in the day, that used to be longs. I couldn't long. I just couldn't do it. I was so used to being short side that I was biased. What I ended up doing was learning to long to stop me being too short biased, but it took time. Peter Illis, came in after a whole day of sailing. What moves today? I was offline. Did you catch the moves? Yes, most people, I didn't. Very, very tired today. But most people, we talked about it at the open of the market. They either took the long and the open or they took the orb long. Mike in chat and some others had their best day ever today, locking in 60 points, 61 points, I think Mike locked in on the ES. Not on the NQ, on the ES. Yeah, Aaron. Then there was crypto. Yeah, everything went nuts. Everything went nuts. One of my biggest winning days was short GME on the day that they banned Robinhood. It was a big day for me. Do you ever believe we will have trending markets again? Yeah, absolutely, Christy. We will. It would just take time. Chandler, is your is the car done, buddy? I'd love to see pictures. If you finished your car, I'd love to see pictures, mate. DK, yeah, we talked about this last week, didn't we? You don't love shorting. You're not good at shorting, but that's good. Just remove it. Look at today. Haven't needed to short today. What do we talk about? 80% of the time, the market goes up. Don't worry about it. If you're going to be strong at something, you want to be strong at getting long or trading rotation. Shorts, you don't need to worry about. Oh, sick. I can't wait to see the car. So if anyone seeing Chandler or Razorback in chat, he builds classic cars. He's built an absolute beast. Willow Williams, believe it or not, I went green on the pullback to previous day high today. What, you were short? You were short. I'm trying to work out what you're saying. Green on the pullback. You were short from here to here? Is that what you mean? Or like here to here? I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you took this one. Nice, man. I'll check it out shortly. I used to struggle with shorts as well, not my strength. Hey, that's fine, BU. Focus on your strengths, honestly. Everyone gets so obsessed with trying to be able to trade, you know, so many different things in the market. Focus on your strengths. If you're good at 3-pointers, take 3-pointers. If you're good at layups, you know, take the layups. If you're a 7-foot giant and you just want to dunk on someone, then make sure you're dunking on someone and not trying to, you know, be Steph Curry from outside the 3-point line. Yeah, you went short at previous day high, Willie Williams. Yeah, so you basically took this. Fail breakout. You took this one. Here. Not a bad trade. Not my setup, but I understand it. Liquidity sweep, trade back inside. Makes sense. All right, we're still building out here. Like, this is just still trying to build out the same thing to go higher right now. It's trying to do what we did here to go higher. And this is a flat top here. It wants to attack this. It wants to get to previous week high, which is all the way up at 19,256. ES wants to get to previous day high. I don't like buying up here. I really don't like buying up here. We've had one when I knew that we were going to take this out, but I'm watching. Unless VIX starts to really break down here, which it's trying to do, it's very, very high risk. Think about what we've done today. We are starting to taper. Here is a strong trend. Then the trend's doing this. Now we're starting to do this. It will not take long for it to do this. Okay, and then at this point, I'll set price alerts and then I'm interested. If it goes all the way up without me, it's all right. Not a big deal. But yeah, we've got liquidity here, but we're still producing higher highs and higher lows until that fails. If we produce a lower high here and a lower low here, then I think we come and sweep these levels. This would be the trigger to get down here. So if you're looking short, you can wait for that. You cannot be short early. Look at the trend. Where is the target? Right up here. But I think if we start to break down, you're going to see that start to roll. Again, VIX still inside range. VIX is not breaking down a new low of day, so I'm not expecting a new high of day. In fact, it's trying to reclaim some key levels here on the VIX. $15, 20 minutes left here, folks. Anything any of you want to go over? Big daily candle here. Remember, we're still in range. Point of control on this session, basically at 150. Basically around here. I think there's a good chance of a bit of a dunk before going higher. But it might take time. Maybe they do it over lunch. I don't know. If we go straight upside, then I wouldn't really be thinking about that move anymore. Let's have a look at the mag. Tesla 1.55% up, Nvidia 2.61% up, Meta 1.5% up, Google 1.75% up, Amazon 2.20% up, Microsoft 2.5% up, Apple 0.17% up. Starting to see a bit of tapering here. Again, if you're going to take a short today, you're counter trend short. But what I would say is you are at the top side of a range on the daily. It's the one thing going your way. But you are technically counter trend. The main trend today has absolutely been upside, hasn't it? But we're seeing some tapering. If this was strong, taper. If it starts to let go of here, maybe we come down, give some of it back before going back upside. That's what I'd like to see. We are into big areas. This would be a handle. Yeah? Makes sense for everyone? That's what I'd like. In ideal scenario, that's what I'd like. If it wants to snap, it can come back down to here. But I'd really like it to just little wash and then go. Do you think it's worth giving other time frame markets a try on NYC volatility for a beginner? What do you mean? Other time frames, like you want to trade higher time frames? Because you're saying other time frame markets, or do you mean you're looking? Omar, try and expand what you mean there. Are you looking at other time frames to trade in the New York session on the Nasdaq, or are you thinking about trading Asia and outside of that and London, or are you talking about trading other markets altogether? Oh, like trading Asian market? Yeah, I mean, I don't love Asia. I traded Asia last night. All right, I locked in $1,000 on Asia last night, but I am not a good Asia trader. Probably because I'm at New York. I'm at the New York session a lot, but you can. Asia normally is a bit calmer, but it's still offering really good range at the moment. What you have to understand with Asia is it lacks liquidity. So if it goes into a little liquidity pocket, it can do a very big move very, very quickly because there's no New York traders on the bid. So if you think about the volume difference, if we're supporting a bid or an ask here, all right, then we can see key levels. In Asia, right, if there's a big seller, last night there was a big seller on the book spoofing. I don't know if anyone traded Asia last night, but you would have seen 100 lot on the book in Asia spoofing. 100 lot's not a lot, it's a decent amount, but he was spoofing. But you get these kind of exaggerated moves in Asia because it's so thin. Look at the difference in volume. Like this is an exaggerated move, this is an exaggerated move. These are big volume spikes in the Asia session. Make sure you can see that. Yeah. compared to normally trading such low volume. So if someone gets stopped out, we can run really fast because there's no bids left to absorb it. Whereas we get into New York, look at the difference in volume, can support a bid. So you've just got to understand that when you're trading Asia. It also means the spread opens up. So your stops can get run in this kind of market by 20, 30 points. It can happen. I'm not saying it happens all the time, but it can happen because it's so thin. Coop's saying the one thing you can do to calm action down is trade on the M5. Ignore the M1, M2. I did that for a very long time to get used to the range. Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm still, folks, I always say I execute on the M1, but this is my M5 chart. Right, I'm looking at this chart all the time. Where was the pullback? Here. Where did we absorb into that? All right, I'm looking at this. We're trading above M5 flow zones. We're trading upside. Where would the trap be? It's the same trap we're talking about. Right, that's the kind of thing I would like to see in the afternoon. But definitely, and I'm also, you know, M15 right here. I'm looking at everything all the time. I do not make decisions based on the M1. I start looking and focusing in on the M1 when I'm really, really interested in an area. Raphael, yeah, I wish I could go straight back to sleep. As soon as I'm done here, I've got to take my dog out, and then I need to drag my butt to the gym because I have not done it enough. Jake from State Farm just says Traderify. What does that mean? You want to know about Traderify or? Oh, Razorback, that looks sick, man. Okay, no worries. That car looks super cool. Once that's painted, it's going to look amazing. Has it got all the modern inside still? Like all the, it's got the newer seats, isn't it? So you did like a swap the other way. So it's like an old school outside and new inside, right? Yeah, that's super cool. All right, ES battling on its initial balance. You can see its market getting a little janky here. You can feel it. I don't know if there's news coming in here or if this is just before the new hour. See if anything's hitting the wire. Don't see anything. Just a battleground, I think. I don't like how I'm watching this book move right now. There's increased volume coming in and they are fighting over these levels. I'd be very, very cautious. I think a nasty move one way or another is about to come here. Trading Girl. Yeah, trading the NQ. BU, you're in Tulsa. I never knew that. I want to go to Tulsa ever since watching Tulsa King. Is it actually like that? I love that show. It's actually Razorback that put me onto that show as well. Once I make my first 500,000, can you restore a classic car for me? There you go. Yeah, so good. I love that show. Marcel, good afternoon. Found your channel since this week. Living in the Netherlands. Time here is 6 o'clock. Where in the Netherlands are you? I had family in Amsterdam till last year. They moved back. my sister-in-law and her husband and children. I used to go there a lot. Used to DJ in Amsterdam a lot, and Rotterdam actually, back in the day. All right, you can see here they are jostling positions here. They are trying to move it higher, and sellers are coming in. Sellers keep coming in, trying to protect the high. They're trying to force a lower high here. Right, so sellers are trying to force a lower high here. If sellers don't get a breakdown under here, they're going to get stuck and cause the squeeze. If they get the breakdown here, then you get that run into these levels down here, which is where they'll be taking profits. It's absolute battleground. You can see it across the market. VIX is trying to break out to its upside. It's trying to find a bid here. If VIX breaks above 27.50 and squeezes upside, you get that flush down on the market. Exactly, Raphael. Exactly. DK, on TradingView, how do I add futures to charting? Do you mean you haven't got the, you're not getting live data? If you move, you will either have to log in with the firm that you're on TradingView, or you need to pay for CME data on TradingView. I think it's like $8 a month or something. So here comes a squeeze. They're going to have one more attempt up here. You got these highs here. If they break these, I would imagine most of the short stops is around here, 185 up to 187. If they break those, you're probably going to go higher day. They'll probably run these guys for a squeeze up. Still absorbing it. It's still drifting higher. This is still accumulation without enough of a short trap for me to be interested to go higher. Marcel, study in Amsterdam, now live in Germany. Nice. Willow Williams, thanks, Alex. Taking my small green day, calling it a day. Good work. Good work, all of you. Most of you here are green. Some of you took that monstrous trade off the open and the orb. What a beautiful trade. Nice trend day up today. We're above the initial balance. We're trend day up until proves otherwise. Right now, we're absorbing to go higher. Previous week high is not out the question. That move towards 19,260. If we break that, 19,400 is not out the question. Here goes ES in a hurry. Shorts are about to get cooked here. ES again still has unfinished business. 5,500 is where it wants to get today. What is the orb? Just the opening range, Brad. Bit like the initial balance, but just the first 15 minutes. Well, you can trade however long you want. Some people play the first 30 seconds, the first 15 minutes. That's why normally you'll see me, I don't like trading, taking the first 15 minutes. I like to wait and see what sets up. So double top here. You would expect this to squeeze through in this market and try and go upside. It's got 5 minutes left. I would not be surprised to see a squeeze in this next 5 minutes for an upside move. Really wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. Just like this. So new high day taken there, just about. Yeah, just about. Yes. Trying to play catch up, not quite there yet. Definitely the traders that had the best fun today bought the open and bought the opening range retest. We got a little bit here, but not what I would have wanted. Not giving me what I wanted. But any day, I have to remind myself, any day I have a 4-figure day, I just got to be happy. That trade overnight in Asia paid the bills for the day. Like I said, good chance of a drift higher. Previous week open here is at 19,225. Through that previous week high, 19,256. I think that's where it's trying to go for the first stop. I think ES wants to take out previous day high. They've reaccumulated here to go higher. I am amazed they haven't needed to trap shorts more shorts in, but they've got enough liquidity and they're stuck. Clearly. Those in Discord who have done the course, think about the weekly model. Think about where we're going. Think about where we're definitely not going. Think about what all dips overnight held against versus. I have 3 minutes left, and then I'm going to sign off here, folks. Well done for making it to Thursday. Any last questions? I'm going to set price alerts now. Okay, where can I set? I'm going to set one under this low. It's not the one I want, or just in front of it. And I'm going to set one in front of this. I'll be interested if we do any move down here. And I'll also set one down here. And I'll also set one, what's the previous week high? There we go. Thanks, Alex C. You too. You have a great day. All of you have a great day. Just about to wrap it up here. Last chance to get questions in. Remember, today is your last chance for the Apex sale. It ends tonight, 90% sale. I don't normally push these, but what I do know nowadays is Apex very, very, very rarely do 90% sales. What I would say is if you're going to trade with Apex, you have to understand the rules. Right? They pay out consistently. I'm proof of it. If you're in Discord, you see it. But you have to understand the rules. They have a trailing drawdown. You have to trade them differently, but you can trade up to 20 accounts. If you take your time, all right, if you take your time and you base hit, you can make good money out of Apex. If you're interested, now is the best time to do it. I would very much doubt they do another 90% sale this year. I think last year they did 1, maybe 2 sales. That's why it's a 2-day flash sale. It ends tonight. So if you're interested, code FZT on Apex will get you 50% off. If you like the bigger accounts, they're very, very cheap. You can have, 20, 150K or 2300K accounts right now, $25 a pop. If you prefer not worrying about the trading drawdown, I suggest you trade with Traderify. All right, right now, 30% off all accounts. There might still be 35%. There might still be 35%. I'm not sure about that. But 30% off for sure, 40% off first-time buyers. Best accounts with Traderify are the growth accounts. Do not need to worry about trading drawdown with the growth accounts. If you're an experienced trader and you want to skip that all, you can go straight to funding. Just know that if you're going to go straight to funding, you only have 20% consistency rule. On all these other accounts, you have 35% consistency rule. If you want daily payouts, if you're looking to pull cash out the market regularly, Take Profit is the place to go, right? Use code FlowZone for Take Profit. It's the only one using code FlowZone. Everything else, FCT. You'll get 30% off for life, no activation fee, and you can take daily payouts. So those are the ones that I would advise you use. Those are the 3 top ones in the industry, in my opinion. Which account on Apex is most like the Traderify growth account? It would be the static account, but I think it's crap. I would not advise you use it. If you want to do your growth account, you're better off using Traderify or even TickTick. Which one do I think is best to use instead of using personal account? Growth account. Traderify growth account or straight to funding, but growth account is going to be the best one. You're not going to be worrying about trading drawdown. I think right now it's going to cost you about 95 or 98 bucks for a 50k account. And if any of you are interested, if you've liked, this is your first time on stream, if you're liking what you're learning here, You can do my course, all right? The course, the link is down below, flowzonetrader.com. It is a one-time fee, no monthly subscription, all right? One-time fee. 20 hours on demand over 40 modules. With that, you also get the flow zone indicator. Everything you're seeing here, my proprietary indicator. You'll get it for free when you do the course, and you get lifetime into the Discord. Those of you interested in getting the NinjaTrader flow zones, it's even more advanced than what you're seeing here. They are now available to the public. You can have it on a year-long subscription or a one-time fee. It's all on the website. It should be on the website. If not, it's on the Teachable for sure, but I'm pretty sure it's on the website. In fact, I'm going to check because I don't want to say something if it's not there. It's on the website. It's absolutely on the website. All right, so you can see everything on the website now. New website coming, hopefully, end of this month. I think more realistically next month with everything on. Why don't I use what on stream, Jake? Why don't I use NinjaTrader, do you mean? I don't use the NinjaTrader on stream because what I can't do on NinjaTrader is flick between all the different indicators and teach you, like with the drawing tools and things like that as I go. I'm unable to do it. NinjaTrader is like very fixed. I have it like very fixed, like 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute, hourly. And I can't flick between that and like, you know, the TPO or the volume indicator or any of these things. And then I can't teach you. I can't show you what I'm looking for before I look at it. I could show you my entry and exit, but it will be too late and I won't be able to draw it out for you. So it depends what you'd rather. But if you want, you know, if you just want signals and don't want to learn how to trade, there's plenty of other places you can go. Whether those signals are good or not is a whole different thing. My ambition is to teach people how to trade. Greg, I don't like bull knocks. I just don't. I've never used them. It's not that I don't like them. I've never used them, so I cannot comment. Raphael took the rejection 50 points from top of 150. Oh, at the top to 150. Got it. You took this. I was like, from the top of 150, we're only just getting to there now. You took this. Yeah, nice. It can build out a range. It can build out a range here, but we did talk about it before I leave. Just steep, tapering, tapering more, tapering more, tapering more. This will build out liquidity. They will need to trap shorts to get up into these levels. All right, and the way of doing that is by going sideways, or ideally by coming down into some of these areas that I want and then getting short stuck, because remember, shorts will enter under here and under here and under here. And if we get them to enter and turn inside, that's when I think we get the move. So that's what I'd be looking for the rest of the day. I'm going to sign off there. I think that's everything. Oh, a couple more questions coming in. Bullnox has a 91% sale. Does it really? I didn't know that. Would I ever trade a personal account using mini contracts on the NQ? No. Simply put, the way I do it is I trade using my multiple accounts, and the money I take out of that, I invest into the ETFs to give me passive income. I think it's just the way I do it. Doesn't mean you couldn't do it. Absolutely could trade your own, and maybe I will, but this is what's working for me at the moment. Tim V says, the course is and was worth the money to me, and I'm a 40-year trader. Hey, thanks so much. No worries, BU. Good work. Nice work, Christy. No worries, Capped. Yeah, awesome day, everyone. Nice work, especially everyone who got long early. Congratulations. If you didn't trade, you sat in your hands, you stuck to your rules, whatever you did, if you stuck to your rules, you make sure you're congratulating yourself today. All right, I'm going to go and walk my dog before she comes screaming in here on stream. For those in Discord, I'll be back this afternoon. Like I said, I've set price alerts. You know what I'm looking for. We're either going to get that trap which goes back up towards high of day for the ES, or we're going to keep rejecting. And if we're going to break down, I'm happy to take that fade later on as well. All right. Take care, everyone. Use hard stops. I'll be back tomorrow.